You are listening to the Young Black Travelers podcast. Black voices conversing on experiential travel, dedicated to creating a global community of travelers. So, be bold, be inspired, be spontaneous. We are YBT. So welcome to the Young Black Travelers podcast. My name is Asher Cunningham and I'm your host for today. I'm the founder of Young Black Travelers, and today we have with us a group of people. You've heard them before if you've listened to episode 1 from Nigeria. You heard Meji, you heard Binky, you heard the bride, Osasu. And we have joining us, we have 2 new guests to the podcast. I want them to introduce themselves, and I'm going to have the others reintroduce themselves. So Joe, well, ladies first.
Lady first.
Hi, this is Watershare. Nice to meet you.
Say a little bit more about you. I mean, you are part of YBT, so
okay.
Maybe,
so all right.
Come on now.
Yes, we will say some more stuff about me and stop being shy. So this is Watershare. I'm also the lead media person for Young Black Travelers, as well as secretary for Young Black Travelers as well. So part of the things I have done is help with leading with the growing of our social media, getting our name out there. Also, you may see me at some of the events that we have or out and about in New York. So, that's me.
Come through titles and come through resume.
So there's more, but we will digress for today.
and she just introduced herself as Marta Share, right? But then
also, they call me Marty as well, and Mardo, and various other names.
Okay. Welcome, Marty and Joel.
Hello, YBT. This is Joel. I'm one of the lead coordinator of YBT, and I'm looking forward for what we have in store today.
Yeah, so welcome, Joel. And now let's go from right to left. They were here. You heard them on episode number 1. First is our bride. Reintroduce yourself.
Hey everybody, my name is Osasu. I'm an honorary YBT member.
Yes,
I'm
you are.
also the co-founder of the Immerse and podcast.
Mm-hmm.
And I am an OBGYN. It's very nice to meet you guys.
So, Doctor, what's your new title? Dr. O?
Dr. Ojemoro.
Dr. Ojemoro. No longer Asamota. We're cheers to that. By the way, we're drinking red wine in the room. So, cheers. Let's cheers to Ojemoro.
Even though I'm drinking water.
Clink,
Clink, clink.
And next to Doctor is our host for this evening. Come on, introduce yourself.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Binky. It is good to be with you again.
Oh, baby, our gracious host. Thank you for hosting us. Listen, she's cooking.
My pleasure.
I mean, let me tell y'all. A woman could cook.
Blessed hands.
Bless you.
Bless up.
Thank you.
5-star.
Keep it coming. Keep the comments going.
God is going to bless you.
She's also my fairy godmother.
That is true. That is actually true.
Yes. And then next to our gracious host, we have
The beautiful.
My name is Meji.
The
I'm glad to be here today again. Just happy to be here. I'm a nurse. I'm an event planner. I wear many hats, but I'm here to be a wonderful member of YBT.
Thank you. Listen, thank you guys for joining this conversation. And you guys would have heard a lot from episode number 1. We talked a lot about Legos, but particularly to our new addition to this episode, what is the thing about Legos that stood out to you most?
Vibes.
Vibes.
When you see Legos equals vibes, vibe equals Legos.
Mm-hmm.
And Legos know how to party. So if you're not a person that doesn't like to party, Legos is not your thing. Legos party. And they say party. You partied the hardest party that I have partied.
Because Marty was out late at night.
Outside. We were outside.
When they say the city never sleeps, Legos does not.
We don't sleep.
People will come in the club 3-4 o'clock in the morning.
Yes.
Leave at 9, wash their face, go back
And
to work.
If you come from the States, just know the music is going to be 1,000 times louder. Louder than it will be at any club that you'll go to in the States. So they are ready to turn up at high levels.
Wow. So vibes, music level, energy. Joe,
the sightseeing. It was beautiful. But the moment that you land, you're just like appalled by watching everything.
Paul. You mean you're amazed by watching, by the beauty?
Yes.
You gasp.
Yes.
Let me not, Joel. Don't start here today.
We're doing great.
We're doing great.
I mean, I really think that Lagos or Nigeria altogether is underrated, and I love the fact that
Why?
it's a beautiful and very clean city. One thing that really captured me is seeing. We're still laughing at Joe, but it's well good. We're good.
We're pushing through it.
No.
Push through it.
I just that Joe to leave though.
I can't.
But on a serious note, like Lagos is really a fun.
It is.
You feel the energy in Lagos. Like you feel the electricity of people that just want to party, people that just want to enjoy themselves, that just really want to have a really good time. And Lagos is really that place. It's really that place. And I felt like I really enjoyed myself there because I'm seriously, I never partied that hard until I thought I partied, but Lagos really taught me a new level of partying. And stamina is key, guys. Stamina is key.
Actually, remind me, did we talk about Zaza the first part?
We spoke about Zaza. But listen, talk a little bit more about Zaza. Why was Zaza so outstanding to you?
Well, to Marty's point, they did everything. It wasn't just the aesthetics of the place. Like, it was beautiful when you go inside it.
Mm-hmm.
It's like you weren't expecting it to look the way it looked when you went inside.
Right.
But then additionally, all the talent that they had. They
Oh,
had people
my God,
singing.
from
They had people
dancers.
dancing. They had, the full gamut of like
Yes.
Belly dancers.
Yeah.
belly dancers.
Belly
Like,
dancers.
dancers.
yes, it was a
wonderful.
very
It was like-
incredible experience.
Everybody
a
was
great
in
way to start
costumes.
our experience in Lagos.
Yeah.
Yes. So
Also, the climate, man.
Mm-hmm.
The climate over there, you will love it when you first enter to the culture. To the country. Sorry,
country.
Yeah, you will love the climate. It's so nice and.
Let's talk a little bit more about that because I actually love the temperature. I mean, it was
Yeah.
well, it was hot.
It was
especially
definitely hot.
But it was tolerable.
perfect timing. It was perfect timing.
It was tolerable.
It was
Tolerable
a
for
tolerable heat.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it's tropical, correct?
Yeah, it has that tropical feeling. Yeah,
And like you'll feel a difference between Benin and Lagos.
Yes.
Definitely.
You get more breeze in Benin.
Benin
right?
is more like home feel. Like
Yes.
you feel more like at home.
Yes.
Like,
Right.
But
If
in
you were in the
Lagos,
Caribbean
it's more
island,
like
yes.
everybody's out about their business, and
Yes.
it's more like city vibe. Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
Listen. All right. So listen, guys. You've heard episode number 1. We talked a lot about Lagos. And so we are going to go into the main conversation basically about the reason we all went to Nigeria. We all went because of Doctor's wedding. And thank you, Doctor, for bringing us to Nigeria. Taking us to Nigeria.
Honoring me with your presence.
Woo! Listen, we're gonna go into it, so we're gonna take a quick break. And when we come back, we are going to talk about this Nigerian wedding experience. So stay tuned. Wow. So listen, I'm sure you guys have had a lot of laughs from the first segment, as we all have had.
Absolutely.
But listen, we are about to go into the main conversation. We're going to talk a lot more about the wedding. But before we go into the wedding, Osasu, I think corporately we want to say congrats on getting married. Come on, let's just congratulations. You are now a wife. You're now a married woman. And you had a whole destination wedding.
Yes, you did.
Bringing how many people?
Oh my God, it was like maybe 50 people.
Okay.
But 30 of my friends out.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Like
50
from
people
family,
flew from the
Nigeria.
U.S.
From the U.S. to Nigeria.
or around the world to Nigeria. What were the countries?
France,
Germany.
Canada.
What an international gathering, right?
Yeah.
Wow, listen, I mean, it was so nice to honestly meet some of these people because we met Ifie and her brother.
Very nice.
You've been missed.
You're very gorgeous and committed to someone cousin.
Oh.
Because it was very hot. We have to include him.
Oh, Lord.
What about Silver?
Silver.
Shout out to Silver.
Shout out to Silver.
Hi, Silver.
Wow.
Hi, Christopher.
Include these people.
We have to.
What up, girl?
We have to include them.
Do you want to give a little more context about Silva?
Yeah, let's get a little context. Let me sit up.
Thank you. Come on.
I just want to say, let's just throw it out there. Silver, wow. Like, I've known Osasu since she was about 14 or 15, and she has never mentioned the fact that she had this smoking hot, gorgeous cousin. And when I saw him at the wedding, I was like, wow. What a man, what a man, what a mighty good man. I believe that's the song. I believe that's the song.
That is the song.
Yeah. So it was just a blessing to just be in the same room with
And can we also say,
yeah.
Binky is a hot commodity in Nigeria.
I mean, you're not picking it up right now. Listen, in the States, a classic 6'7", but in Nigeria, 113.
Straight up. Yeah. Straight up.
I was like, wow.
Yes.
Dime peace in Nigeria.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Listen,
it was a good time.
It was a good time.
It's hard to be attractive in Nigeria. Like it's a lot of pressure. I will say that.
I would say. I would say I remember being at the market, and we were in Benin at the market, and for some reason Binky was absent.
Yeah.
Binky was absent from the group. If you've seen the video that I posted on Facebook, Instagram of us singing, Binky wasn't in the video.
Yeah.
But Binky was, Silva had just showed up.
He had popped up.
Got
He
it.
sprayed up on us, and I was like, oh, wow.
And Binky was doing a scouting.
Well, no, I gave Kelly the description. Okay, Kelly's not here. Kelly, we love you. Kelly's not here right now.
Hey, Kelly.
I told
Hey,
Kelly
what up, girl?
the night before, like, there is this beautiful man, okay, that I spotted. And she was like, when we were at the market, she didn't know anything but the description that I gave her. And she saw Silver and was like, girl, is that him? And I was like, hallelujah. Absolutely. I don't give a damn about what they're singing right now. I've got to get to this man. Okay?
I didn't even see that.
Reggie, you missed the whole scene. It was like,
it was crazy. I pushed through everybody. It was like, I don't give a damn about this song. I gotta get over
we
here.
were
and
singing
see
email and whatever else.
I didn't care what it was. I didn't care.
You would see the video. Binky came back and Binky was like, "Oh, he sings," but then Binky was gone.
I was out. You know what I'm saying?
She was out. She was out. But listen, these were some of these were some of the great times we had in Nigeria.
Yes.
Highlights of Nigeria. But before we go really into the wedding, we didn't mention this last spot on the last segment. We want to talk a little bit about the Good Beach.
Yes.
I felt it was one of my favorite spots in Nigeria, and it took me a little bit by surprise because, first of all, I don't think too many Americans and people in the West, when we think of Africa as a whole, we don't think of a continent that has beaches.
Right.
In fact, some of the most beautiful beaches in the world are probably in Africa. I've been to Zanzibar. Spectacular beaches. Osasu, we got to do a podcast on that with you and Mike. We got to do it. But here's the good beach. We went in the night, and so I didn't necessarily see the beach itself, well, the water itself, but the vibe at the good beach was nothing that I've experienced in the Western world. So let's talk a little bit. What stood out to you all about the good beach?
I love the fact. Oh, sorry. No, I was saying I love the fact that it wasn't just the beach or a pool. It was like more like a vibe. You can go everywhere. There was a big projector.
Yes,
you can be watching something if you don't want to be by the beach. Suya was right there. It was very entertaining, and I love that.
Yeah, that is true. That is true, Vicky.
I think what I didn't expect is for us to be able to be entertained the way we were entertained. Like Maggie said, like, you don't just walk onto a beach, but you walk into this area where there are food, like there are a bunch of different options for food.
Yes.
And then there's also this option where you can sit and hang out with your group.
Yes.
There's hookah, if you're into that sort of thing, available. And then there's also these screens and just the privacy and just opportunity to be able to entertain, like just kind of in your group. It's different from being just on a beach.
Yeah.
It has a lot more thought and intentionality placed into that space. So it was very, very beautiful.
come through thought and intentionality.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think that sums up the good beach. It is a
Sure.
thoughtful location. I mean, as I said, I've never seen a beach like that. You go to Miami Beach,
Yeah.
you go to any beach in America, in the Caribbean, you're not seeing pool tables, you're not seeing games on the beach.
Yes.
Osasu, Mardo, Joe. what's your
Wait,
take?
before you go,
Mhm.
let's also include the vibe of you guys rehearsing for the wedding.
Yes.
And
Oh.
also the wedding instructor.
Yeah. Oh.
Like,
Shout out.
for those of us, so
Shout
there
out
were
to the
some
wedding
people
instructor.
that were rehearsing for the wedding and just doing the choreography, excuse me, for the wedding. But then there was those of us that were not a part of that were just kind of watching. It was still a great experience, whether or not you were in it or not in it.
Right.
It was a great experience for both groups.
True,
You know what I'm saying?
true.
A lot of fun to watch, and also fun to watch you, Asher.
Yes.
Gotta put up your choreography.
Indeed.
Facts.
There are videos,
Indeed.
ladies and gentlemen.
There are videos.
If you
Asher
have
was
receipts.
committed to the choreography.
I
Let's
was
say that.
committed. I
Yes,
needed
he
to
was.
learn
Yes,
this.
he was.
What was the song?
I'm unavailable.
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 Yeah.
Yeah,
Listen.
just to piggyback on what you guys said, I think that it's not just a beach where you just, kind of lounge out in the sun, but they had cabanas, they had a pool, they had huge speakers that played music, so everyone was able to vibe in their circles, but also with each other and just other groups. Like, it's very, very free, very open. I really enjoyed my
I love the aesthetic. From the moment that you come inside, it's like it's two places in one, right?
Yeah.
So that's what I got from it.
And another, the beach opens late. Like,
Oh,
yes.
We left. What time did we leave?
Like 2
And
a.m.
then
Oh
we
my
had
God.
a flight. Well, you'll hear a little
We
bit
did
more.
not want to leave.
But we were supposed to leave at
A certain time.
basically early that next morning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, here's something that I didn't know though.
Mhm.
What?
I didn't find out that that we ate ram until like a few months ago.
Ah.
What?
I didn't know that when we were
Suya?
eating suya,
Suya.
that
Oh,
we were
suya.
actually eating ram.
People, you gotta try
That was
suya.
good.
The suya experience.
Slamming.
And suya, for those of you that don't know, is just this grilled meat, seasoned to perfection. Everybody was eating it with toothpicks, like
Yeah,
Yes.
very communal.
Yeah.
very communal meal. But I didn't know that it was ram that we were eating. I was like, yeah, the beef was incredible. And then a couple months ago, Osasu was like, no, that was ram, and I was like, oh my god, I've eaten ram. Wow, I had no idea.
So,
I mean, but
it was great.
to your credit, there is chicken suya, there is beef suya, but the one that most people like is the ram suya.
It was so good.
Yeah.
And that's more typical.
Yeah.
It was also good to just have that experience with everybody. Everybody with their
Yeah.
toothpicks,
Yeah.
just jumping in and
That's-
eating this one communal
Yeah.
meal together. Something that I would never experience like in the States.
That's
Like,
good.
so being a part of
Right.
that experience was just really beautiful.
That was actually a great, decision. Let me give it up to me. I was the one found.
Give it up to Ashley.
But I would say I really wanted to eat suya in Nigeria.
Yes.
But I think it was a great idea at the end where we all we bought the suya and then we all gathered together and eat it.
Yeah,
It just,
it's-
I mean, as you said, a great communal
experience.
meal. What
Yeah.
else did we have with it? Because there were other things with it.
I don't
remember, actually.
Just suya?
No, it was something else, I think.
I
but
just
it was
don't remember.
small. Maybe it was fries. It wasn't nothing.
Probably
It
was
probably,
fries.
yeah, probably
Fries.
fries. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So for the good beach, one of the things that stood out was the gaming aspect, was the pool.
Oh,
I love
yes.
playing pool. So to have a beach, which I love, have the ocean, here in the ocean, playing opportunity to play pool, opportunity to play volleyball, soccer, whatever or football, I have to call it, wherever you name it, was amazing. One of the good thing is I lost my phone at the good beach. Right
You
next,
did.
my phone
She did,
dropped
yeah.
at the Suya location.
Your phone, so you were phoneless for the rest of the trip?
I know. I was
No.
phoneless for a second, and
For a
we had to
second?
go back and find it. And a patron,
Oh.
which was one of the workers at the Good Beach, found my phone, and he told me that is a blessing because most of the time you won't find your phone at a Good Beach. So that's why the Good Beach is actually
It's a good beach.
It's a good
Just say, just say.
Listen, so if you're going to Nigeria, which we highly recommend, that you visit Nigeria, you visit Lagos,
Absolutely.
you visit Benin, you need to add the good beach to your itinerary.
Yes.
Yeah.
But just in the vein of itinerary, Osasu, just give us a quick itinerary that visitors should definitely, do when they go to Nigeria.
Well, main three, definitely the Nikkei Art Gallery.
Absolutely.
Oh,
It
yeah.
is it's a beautiful, it's a free art gallery with by Nikkei. She's one of the forefront art collectors in Nigeria. She has one in Abuja, one in Lagos, and I think one in the States as well, in the Hamptons. She's fantastic. And she like gives assigned people. She has like little games, inclusive games where you can get names, African names with different meanings, and just again to be immersed in the culture. She's fantastic. I would also go to the Lekki Conservation Center. I wanted us to go that time, but it is so awesome. You see like little peacocks and little monkeys come and like run up to you and like feed them, and you can walk on these canopies, essentially like walkways up to the top of the mountain, and then you can. And they also have like little games and little like photographic photo op areas. It's so nice. Next time we go, we're going to the Lekki Conservation Center.
Okay.
Yes.
Where else would we go? And actually, we wanted to go to the Makoko village, floating village.
I want to go.
So basically, it's the largest floating village in America. I'm sorry, in the world actually. So basically, it's a group of community of people that believe in just living on the water. So they school on the water. They worship on the water, meaning like they go to church on the water, like everything. Their houses is on water, and basically it's a group of people that just believe in just centering their whole lives on water. So it's definitely another part that I would recommend as well. But I would recommend going with people that know the village. I wouldn't recommend going, by yourself. But it's definitely it's a beautiful experience. And honestly, like they said, Nigeria is just kind of like a vibe. You can just go to any type of like lounge, beaches, restaurants. You'll have fun. Yeah.
Let's go back to BK real quick.
Yeah.
Because what we experienced when we came into the establishment, where they were playing like the drums and things of that sort. But then we had an opportunity at the end to just dance. And sing. And it just made me feel like I was connecting with a part of my culture that I would not normally connect with in the States. I would even say that the African art, like some of the African art that I've seen in the States was very different than what I saw at UK. It was just this very diverse kind of like group of like artists and paintings that was very beautiful. And when I, as a African American woman, has seen African art, it's been the same type of art, same types. So to know that there were so many different variations in Nikkei was really, really beautiful and really, really encouraging. Like there were moments that I was just brought to the point of tears, like looking at some of the work, like some of the things that, kind of
handcrafted as well.
Handcrafted.
Some of the
but also the messages,
different
materials, different textures and techniques, but also the focus and heart of going into some of these paintings, like some of the thought process with regards to like justice. Like y'all remember the one painting of the little boy? Yes. The painting of the little boy that had the message embedded within the photograph, within the painting, and you wouldn't normally notice that. And also the painting that was painted out with like drum like things, and like even coming to the sense of awareness that somebody could play a certain drum and you could be able to hear a person's name based on the way that they play. Like some of those things were very impactful for me as a musician, or worship leader.
You bought a drum.
I did buy a drum.
There's a drum here.
No, it's not here, but I bought a drum.
You bought a drum. I wish I did.
Yeah.
Wow.
I bought a drum.
Listen, I honestly co-sign what everyone has said. These are places that you should definitely recommend. And I guess next time I go back, I definitely need to do Makoko. That was high on my list. We didn't get to see Makoko. I'm a vlogger, YouTuber, part-time. And so, I see that on one of the channels that I watch. I think Tayo. He's a big Nigerian YouTuber. And he has this whole thing about Makoko, and it was just so outstanding. So everyone if you're on YouTube, just Google our YouTube Makoko. Makoko, what is it?
Yeah, Makoko Floating Village.
Yeah, and you'll honestly probably come across Tayo's documentary of Makoko, and listen, that's some place. Hopefully, next time I go, I'll visit.
We'll go.
And certainly Nikkei. Definitely check out Nikkei. But let's go along, right? So that was Lagos. We were in Lagos for probably about 2-3 days.
Yes.
And we're now supposed to go to Benin, and we did go to Benin for the weddings. Weddings. Not just one.
Sure.
But can we speak about the travel, Joe?
Well, that's where we're going, Joe.
Okay.
Just hold on. Before we get there, we were honestly at the good beach the night before we're supposed to travel, a long night, partying, fun, just having a vibe. And then we all go to the airport to catch our flight.
Yeah.
And so I hear people say, I've seen it on YouTube. I've seen it. I hear people talk all the time about the dysfunctionality of Nigeria.
Sure.
Well, we experienced it in the airport coming.
We did.
100%.
But I don't think we were expected, and people have talked about flights being cancelled, left, right, and center, and whatever.
Yeah.
Now, Osasu and Mike had purchased, obviously, tickets for over 30 people, and now all 30 people show up at the airport. Guys, your take. You show up at the airport, what's your thought process in this moment?
Triggered trauma.
I mean, at first, I don't think we really knew what was happening. I thought it was a delay.
Right.
And then it's when this other flight was canceled. Okay, that happened all the time, but when is the next flight?
Wait, y'all's flight got canceled?
Yeah.
Everyone.
Our flight didn't get canceled?
No, we were going
when
from.
we were going to
you're
Benin.
talking about
from
the first
Lagos
time.
to-
Sorry.
Yeah.
I got you. My bad.
Going.
I'm caught up.
But what I really love is the fact that, you know, as two people that are about to get married, they were not panicked. So they came up with a solution, though I know it was probably to come up with, you know, a backup plan for over 30 people to travel instead of flying, to drive, though from what they said was not the safest thing to do, but we still had to do what we had to do because we had a wedding the next day.
Yes.
And nobody got time for that, you know, and we thank God because here we're Christian that whatever the devil thought it did not come to pass because we did come up with a plan. And shout out to Mike who, you know, kept his head on his shoulders. He was able to find multiple vans to come and
How many
cater
vans?
It was 5.
5 vans.
Oh,
Yes.
5 vans.
So we traveled for a
vans.
good 5-6 hours.
No, Maggie, it was over 5 hours.
Maybe it
because
was
it is
over
supposed
more.
to, the trip is supposed to last how long?
It's supposed to be 4 hours.
It's supposed to be 4 hours, but
we had this traffic jam.
and honestly,
And it
the
was
traffic
raining.
jam did not happen in
Until we
Lagos,
got
which people
closer.
say.
Yeah.
It was like literally we're like 30 minutes from the hotel, and we were in traffic for like over 2 hours.
It started raining because I remember it started
Oh,
raining.
that's boring.
Because there was a time I did ask our driver, hey, how long do we have? And he was like, we're right there, 15 minutes. Oh my God, I had to pee. Okay. So I'm like, okay, I got 15 minutes. I can do it. It took over an hour.
Yeah.
It took over an hour. But at the end of the day, I love the fact that everyone was able to support the couple in the midst of the unknown, because nobody would have known that the flight would have been canceled. So I'm just glad that everything went well and no one really took it as an offense.
Right.
Not, and if you did,
Nobody
maybe,
was bougie.
you know. So,
Yeah.
but it was a great experience.
There was nobody
I was
Oh my
able,
God.
out of that,
Right.
you know, it was a blessing for me because I was able to buy my soursop.
Yes.
I was able to buy my avocado.
Listen.
I was like, you know, so it was a blessing for me.
We had our authentic plantain chip steak.
Yeah, I mean,
Yes.
it
I
was
would
great.
say for like as a Nigerian, looking at how free you guys was actually really encouraging for me. To see you guys kind of just appreciate Nigeria for what it was, right? Because I not pressured you guys, but I did say that flying would have been the better option as opposed to the road, because especially during this was during the time of the election time in Nigeria, and there was like contests about the presidential elections, the local elections. So there was, it was a pretty hostile time at the time of my wedding. So I was very worried, but honestly, seeing you guys have that faith was really encouraging to me. And it was also just let me know that God's hand is at work.
Amen.
If it's everything, then it's okay. We're gonna go. We're gonna be blessed, and it's gonna be covered. He's already seen the end before I started the journey. So it was really beautiful to see that you guys enjoyed yourself despite the things. And I will say, do not depend on the local flights in Nigeria.
Yes.
They will cancel for any reason at any given time. And then it will take 6 months to get your refund back. So I would just say, have a backup plan just in case. I usually encourage people to book their flights in the morning in case it gets canceled. Then that means at least you will have time to get alternative means of transportation in the afternoon. But yes, it's very unpredictable. They're trying to be better. We'll see in the next generation.
But, you know, the truth is, I think, and you said it, this negative experience that many could have taken as such, honestly was a positive at the end of the day, because even though it took us longer to get to Benin from Lagos, it was supposed to take us an hour by air, supposed to take us 4 hours by land, which turned out to be about 7 hours. But nonetheless, I think typically what you see when you fly versus take the road, you see a lot more driving, right? So, you see the world.
Like lambs, like sheep.
People selling in traffic. You see a lot more. By air, you're going to be shielded from all of that. And so I would highly suggest that you probably consider, if time allow, that you probably drive to some of these destinations. Because even when I went to Tanzania and I drove from Kenya to Tanzania, that was like a 6-hour drive. It was going to be a 1 hour flight as well. You saw a lot more. You saw the landscape. You saw just the reds in the earth, and you saw just the Maasai people on the road. I mean, if we took the air, we were not going to see all of that. The ride is usually uncomfortable. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that. Oh, it is the best, most comfortable ride on earth.
Jesus, my neck. Whiplash, but listen, I was a trooper. But with a broken leg, I was a trooper. Listen.
But what you see is going to honestly strengthen your experience as a whole, and it will be so much better than the flight. So, listen, that was a learning lesson, and maybe, I guess, take from this, maybe you will learn a lot more driving to Benin or different cities versus flying, but obviously flying is going to be more comfortable. So if you're the type of traveler who don't care about getting experiences, then maybe flying is for you. If you're the type of person who want experiences, then maybe driving would be for you. But we're going to push along. So now we're in Benin. And by the way, your mom there was supposed to be a party at the house that night, but because we were so late, that didn't happen. You know?
Well, I enjoyed it after the wedding for y'all.
So we just had the welcome party after.
So we here. But nonetheless, we're in Benin, and obviously we get there and we have to rush to make sure everything is right to make this wedding happen the next day. And so this is the traditional wedding. There were 2 weddings. There was a traditional and the white wedding. Osasu, probably just help the listeners understand. Why typically would Nigerians, and I don't know if it's Nigerians in the West who live in America, the UK, wherever, or just Nigerians in general, have 2 weddings. Give us a little lesson on that.
So there's over 100 ethnic groups in Nigeria. So each ethnic group have their own traditional rites, but Nigeria is also comprised of 2 major religions, Christianity as well as Muslim. So most of the tribes, to honor their culture, have the traditional rites and whatever religious rites they have that they practice. So most of the time it's going to be 2 weddings. So in my case, I'm Ado from the Benin Kingdom. For those of you guys that don't know, if you guys watch the Black Panther in the beginning scenes where Killmonger was talking to the lady in the British Museum, that mask, the mask of Queen Ida, that is from my tribe. So we're known to be very patriotic, known to be very proud of our culture. So both of my parents are from Edo. So it was very important for us to have a traditional Edo/Ishan, my husband's Ishan wedding.
But she's missing some important details. Like, I've known I've known Osasu since she was like 14, 15 years old. And what I didn't realize is that she's a Nigerian princess.
Yes.
That is kind of not true because I tell her, she just didn't believe me.
No.
I Keep listening.
She's
Zoom in.
Imagine
She's royalty. I'm sitting here looking at her father during the traditional wedding, and I'm like, why does he have these same like royal like
coat to arms,
like items on his
insignias.
On his garments?
Yeah,
like, why is he wearing this?
Humble.
But he was like, oh, I'm the nephew or the whatever the language is of a queen.
Yeah, his great grandmother.
His great grandmother was, and I'm like, wait, what? So Osasu is, and I've known this child. I'm gonna say child since she was 14, 15 years old. Never did she mention I'm a Nigerian princess until I get there at the wedding.
Lord,
and I'm like,
That was a culture shock for me.
I'm just watching what's happening, and I'm like, wait, this seems like more than just a tradition.
Right.
Exactly.
It seems like something else is happening, and it's because she's a goddamn Nigerian princess.
No, imagine your friend, your
Your
good friend, your family say, "I'm a
somebody
Nigerian princess."
and it's like,
so
what?
you could be like,
You are a princess. You are queen.
And
Yes,
then
you are
you go
queen.
land there, and you're actually like, no,
It's
she
like,
really is a
wait.
Nigerian princess. It's not yes, queen. It's yes.
Like I found that out when I was there.
I see you.
I believe when you were there.
But let's talk about
I
this
just
a
want to
little.
make sure everybody knows that.
Listen,
Just for
that's great
context.
context, and I think to
And her
people-
wedding was nationally televised.
What?
It
Wait.
was.
It was.
No way.
It was on TV.
Talk about
Hold on.
I didn't know that part.
Pause. But hold that thought. Hold that thought,
I have
because
receipts.
none of us knew this. Hold on.
Wow.
We're gonna get their pin. Ready?
Alright.
Pin.
Sure.
Pause.
Yeah.
There's a pin right there.
Sure.
Hold on.
You're right.
Hold on.
You're right.
Whoa. Okay, new information. There's new information coming on this scene at every second.
Every second.
But anyway, to Westerners, we typically, when we hear our royalty, I think a lot of times we dismiss what Nigerians would say, because I don't think to people who live in the West, the UK, the US,
She
the
lied to
Caribbean,
us.
South America, I don't think we understand what it means.
She didn't tell
And
us.
I don't think we understand the gravity of what it means. So
She didn't tell us.
there is some sort of weight to this.
Yes,
There's
clearly.
a weight to the title.
Uh-huh.
But obviously we understand that our friend is a Nigerian princess and could soon be crowned queen of Benin.
Wait, you're gonna be crowned queen.
No.
Number 37.
That's not. The crown was passed to my great uncle. He is the Oba. He's considered the Oba of Benin.
This is stressful.
Like literally families would have to die before I become queen. So,
But you're a princess.
I love the way
So hold
you're
on,
so humble.
Answer the question. Are you a
Equate this
princess?
to the British
I have royal
monarchy.
blood, yes.
Bro,
Because I was hearing
I mean,
that.
I always call her my African queen. You can ask her.
Wait. So let's hold on. Let's get back to televised. Hold on. Pause, Joe. Pause. Joe, Osasu, you.
the shit is coming out now.
What wedding? The wedding was nationally televised.
It was, because even though I wasn't feeling my best that day,
She just showed me.
I sat
Mama
down.
be knowing.
I was sitting down, trying not
Where
to
you going?
hurl
Don't
my
try to
guts.
run.
Don't try to run away. Trying not to hurl my
She's
guts
leaving.
out. I was not feeling too well that day. But
Oh,
but
you
I
were
looked
not
up.
feeling
No, I
well.
really wasn't at all. But I
she was
looked at
off.
the teleprompter and noticed that why are we on TV and why does it say underneath?
Why are we
the
on
over,
TV?
her and her husband's name underneath that? I'm like, hold up. Why is there an actual camera crew videotaping everything?
You don't
that's
know
going
about
on?
that,
thought it was-
Osasu.
I had to take a picture
I actually
because no one's
thought
not
it
gonna
was
believe
like
me.
a video. Well, I mean,
I
No,
thought,
no one's
at
not gonna
first,
believe me.
my
I took pic.
my initial thought was when I entered, I was like, oh, okay, that's cool. They're Googling, right?
No,
you know, like
But you got security
It's not
details. You got security
Googling.
details.
It was
Hold on,
on TV.
Osasu, you
They
gotta clear
had
this
a
up.
big screen
I didn't know
teleprompter.
You see how
Okay.
quiet she
Showing,
is?
like you literally could go on Benin TV and watch the whole wedding.
So I mean, I love this now that I know. because
Osasu,
we
explain.
watched- Osasu, explain. Come on.
We've known you forever. We
Spill the
didn't
tea,
know.
my queen.
Come closer. Come
my,
closer. Come closer.
My African
Y'all
princess.
should
Tell
know
us.
who my mother is.
Okay.
We do know who.
We
Miss
do.
Pauline
We do
is.
know
That's
now.
true. That's true.
But that's
I will love
so-
your mother.
We
I
love her.
have
Shout out
no
to mommy.
control really what happened with the traditional wedding. The white wedding was more not my focus.
That's true.
So whatever she did,
So
or whatever
mommy went all out.
So Bobby got the TV crew.
Mommy
Mama
said,
got the TV crew. And
I need people to know who I am.
Let's just say the nation of Benin.
I just
know who you
asked
were
her.
that day.
I don't. What was the museum that we went to?
Nikkei?
Not Nikkei, the other one.
the Benin
Oh,
Museum.
yeah.
So we went to
Oh
a
my
museum in
God.
Benin, and when we went to the museum in Benin, I said, "Hey, Osasu's father, I saw a lot of the same imagery, like on the garments that you were wearing here, that I saw in Benin." And he said to me, "Oh, I am the grandson of a queen." And I was like, "Wait, what?" He said, "Osasu is a Nigerian princess." And I said, "I'm sorry. I've known Osasu since she was a teenager. Like I was her worship leader, at a Christian church. And I just didn't know."
She didn't believe.
No, she never told me that.
No.
Well, people joke all the time.
It's like, again,
They say
someone
I'm a-
said, I'm an African queen. Be
Trust
like,
me.
yes, queen. Don't
Yes,
say,
you
I'm
are
an
a
African
queen.
Like, it's about the tone.
Like
If
we're
you're
that
all,
doesn't
like,
mean
you're
that
all
you're a
royalty in the
queen.
American
Yeah.
context,
You
not
are a
the
literal
royal.
queen. A literal queen?
like,
So wait,
So,
I'm just
queen.
casually coming on this trip,
Queen.
and I'm just finding out that this person is a goddamn
we all found
actual
out.
queen.
She is a queen. Queen Ojimoron.
If you're
Yes.
listening to this podcast right now, just know that you are listening to royalty.
Okay?
Just know that you are listening to
So,
royalty.
But hold on, let's now get into the actual wedding, though.
Lord.
The actual traditional wedding.
Yes.
And so, first of all, a lot of things started late.
Sure.
Really late.
Sure.
But anyway, we get to the house, and what are your
My
reactions?
first
to what
question,
happened?
I'm glad you asked.
Go ahead.
I'm glad you asked. Because I've known Osasu's father for years. So when I pull up to this, are we
The
allowed
house.
to cuss on the
It
podcast?
wasn't a house.
Are we allowed to
The
curse?
mansion.
Are we allowed to curse?
Curse.
Okay, cool. I'm just like, are you serious? This is Osasu's parents'
The
house?
mansion. And let's talk about the neighborhood, though.
Let's talk about it. I'm just sitting there like,
Lord.
what the f*** is happening?
So my
Is this their house?
I was just like,
I thought this was just like a cute little
No, she did
situation.
try. No, she did
She
tell
talked
us
about the house
that
for years.
her dad is going home.
I didn't know.
So I knew Daddy was doing some kind of renovation, but
Daddy has done a damn
I was
thing.
not. I never really thought that I was going
Well, why
to
would
be
you
walking in
think
the
that?
mansion.
Because they downplayed it.
Correct.
So you walk
But-
in, it's like this compound.
Yes.
It's like, why do you have a view?
She can actually.
Oh my God.
She
it's
can
stressful.
actually host the whole
Because how many people
party.
were there?
that
How many
came
people were
into the
there?
wedding.
It was over 100.
Honestly.
Over,
Yeah.
hold on, pause.
Yeah.
Over 100 people was
In
in,
a
this
house.
house.
More.
Did y'all hear that?
Over 100.
Are y'all
people.
listening? Are y'all cute?
But anyway,
I
let's
just feel like you guys are gassing just a little bit.
Nobody's gassing
Just
this.
listen.
Who's gassing it, Osasu?
Okay.
go
She
ahead.
just
Yes,
humble.
my house
Queen
is
Ojimura.
Humble.
yes, my
Of course,
my
a queen
family's
is gonna
house
gas it.
Our
is
liege.
very big, and God bless the fruit of my father's and my mother's
Hallelujah.
labor.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
That's a great way to put it.
I
The
wanna
shit
say I
was
walked in that
crazy.
day. When
Say it how we need to say it.
Bonkers.
When I
okay?
walked in that day and I went into I can't with you. I went into Sassa's room and I just looked at her and I almost cried.
Honestly,
when she was getting her makeup done, I'm like,
the
girl,
traditional wedding.
yes, she looks so
Beautiful.
Divine. Holy.
Yes.
I almost cried. I'm like, girl, I know you were planning this.
She's
but
always
how?
been beautiful. She's always been
guys are
beautiful.
making me cry.
She's a beautiful girl. If you've never seen her Instagram her, she's incredibly beautiful. Just period. She's beautiful. But when you add to this the cultural
Yeah.
dynamics of it,
yes.
it's
The
like,
beads.
what's happening?
And
It was out of this
No.
world.
And the personality.
Out of
She's
this
very
world.
humble.
So
So,
who-
she just
Oh my
coming
God,
in
I
here
love
like,
her.
hey,
Okay.
I'm just having this little small gathering.
amazing.
All of the people.
We had a mansion.
By the way,
Think
I'm an
Queen's
African
Palace.
princess.
Thinks
By
President
the
House.
way, you know.
Think
Nobody
International
told
TV
us.
My
Hold hold on. Osasu.
Yeah.
Queen Ojimoran.
Yes,
Princess
yes.
Ojimoran.
Let's talk
Tell
to
us
her.
a
She's
little bit
princess.
about some of the traditions that we observe during the traditional wedding. But hold on, before you go and tell us the
You're
traditions.
a whole princess.
Hold on, Binky. Let me say this. I think from because I was on the groom's train, right? I was on the groom's train.
Yes.
And so I remember that morning I was a little bit. So throughout this process, I didn't know what to expect. Like I was just really trying to.
No one knew.
Really, meaning like I've never been part of a Nigerian traditional wedding, and so in my mind, okay, like there's a lot of imaginations that are happening of how things should be.
Yeah.
And I remember like the moment of imagination that I had was how it would be for the guy to enter the house. In my head, it was the guy, because from the readings that I've had, I guess you're supposed to come to the village and you announce yourself and they let you in, something along that line. That's what I was imagining. And I remember the morning, Mike, we all got our money together to like spray.
To spray, yeah.
But none of this, what I was imagining, really happened.
I get you. Okay.
Nothing. So tell us.
Sure. So, when the only way, most traditional weddings, there is a payment or something called the bride price. But everything is kind of like big and processional, right? So the guy usually comes to announce that, the groom usually comes to announce that he is interested in getting or plucking a flower from a garden. That's usually the poetry. If you guys know, Nigerians are very poetic in their language.
Yes.
Osasu had money with her face on it. Print it out. She's playing, you guys. Ask for the real details.
Princess, ask the tea.
So
See that paper printed?
So in our culture,
We're gonna talk
Printed
about
money with her husband's face on it.
I
didn't know that I was coming here and seeing money with her face on it.
Apologies.
They didn't mention that part. It was a surprise.
Anyway, guys, she's just being a little dramatic. But yeah, so the groom will come and essentially to announce that he's, looking and interested in becoming a husband and plucking a flower from a garden. So usually the groomsmen have to, spray money on the ground or spray money to the people that are quote unquote hosting the bride-to-be for gas, is what they call gas money. Like, oh, you don't have enough gas money to get to the bride. You have to spray us. And to whatever amount that satisfies them, then the groomsmen and the groom will be able to proceed. Now, the groom and his family usually come with the list that is predetermined between the bride's family and the groom's family, items that would be basically like an exchange to gift the bride's family for the gift of their daughter. So in this case, this will be like yams, drinks, food. I think mine's included like 2 antelopes or something like that. Something. Yeah. It was like 2 legs of antelope, something like that. So they gifted or presented as gift offerings or the bride price for the bride's family. So I'm not sure if you guys know it, but there was also like a kind of like a band of women that had the traditional okuku and like the rattlers. And so they're like singing praises for the bride to be. Oh. So the bride, traditionally we wear red, and that's supposed to signify royalty. That's supposed to signify divinity and prosperity for the bride, upcoming bride. And then we wear something called an okuku. I don't know if you guys seen Portia. For her traditional wedding, she wore an okuku, like a crown.
Is Benin, right?
Her husband is Benin.
What's his name?
Simon Gabadia, I believe.
Gabadia,
So I also wore, the brides in our tradition wear something called an okuku, and it's basically like a crown because you're crowning the wife to be, essentially. So I wear that, and then I get a veil over myself to basically present to the groom that, is this the wife that you are looking for? Is this the flower that you're looking for? And he says yes. And then I go back until both families settle that the bride price has been satisfied. And then I come out. Now, when I come out, I'm actually presented to the groom's fathers first. So the groom, because that's basically me, that's signifying that I am now leaving my family and entering into the care of my groom's family. So I sit on the groom's of my father-in-law, essentially's lap, 6th time, and then I sit the 7th time on my husband's lap. And now the transfer of me from my family to my new family is complete.
Wow. Listen, listen. So, listen, Linda. I'm telling y'all, it was rich watching all of this happening, and we didn't have the context.
No, we did not.
We didn't have the context. It was like a theatrical performance that was happening before our eyes, my eyes, your eyes, and you're piecing things together while you're watching it, right? Mm-hmm. Like you hear them sing, you hear them barter at certain points, but then you're picking it up. But I had done this research paper in anthropology in my freshman year of college, so I understood some of the context. But the entirety of like all of these things that you literally just explained were things that I really didn't know was happening. Because I don't think I noticed. I don't think I noticed the you sitting on the lap of your father-in-law. Yeah. But a lot was happening a lot was happening.
It's a lot of people in the room.
A lot of people were there, and so a lot of things. Some things could go unnoticed if you really don't understand the context. So Osasu have literally given you an explanation of the Benin wedding tradition. Mm-hmm. Is there a mirror to this to maybe other tribes in Nigeria?
Most tribes have very similar aspects. A lot of other tribes now are picking up on the Edo traditional woman attire. A lot of the other traditions are now wearing the okuku and the coral beads. But I think, for example, for Yoruba, the girl is presented to the groom's family. Mm-hmm. And then after the groom's family comes to the bride's family, they kind of prostrate, they lay out to basically share their things and to honor the wife's family. And then it's like vice versa. The woman gets prayers from her family and then gets transferred to the groom or her new family with the groom. And then I think for Igbo culture, the bride basically presents the drinks, covers her hand to cover the drink to the husband to be.
The drink, you mean the palm wine?
The palm wine, yeah. Mm-hmm. The palm wine, and they kneel down and they present it to the husband to be. And if he drinks, that means he's accepting that, yes, this is my wife to be. So there's different variations.
And how about
different
Yoruba?
Money. Oh, that Yoruba's the prostrating and the prayers from each family, essentially. Wow. Yeah.
Listen, so you guys have heard a good bit of just what those traditions are for the Benin tribe.
Yes.
And I'm going to say...
just to seal the deal, after I sit on my husband's lap, my father or the bride's father dips a cube of sugar in honey and puts it in the mouth of both the bride and the husband to show that the marriage will be sweet and it will be prosperous.
Ooh. Oh my Lord. Listen, all of these little details we were missing.
Yeah.
Besides these details,
I see why it's so poetic.
It is poetic.
Yeah.
And I think, so maybe now you guys have the context of what is to be expected at a Benin wedding, because then now you go to the wedding, you will probably recognize all of these things happening, because I'm telling you, it's like a skit happening before your eyes, right?
They're very dramatic. Yeah. We are very dramatic people, for sure.
It is like, the ladies are coming out, Osasu comes out a few times, and then all of these things are happening, but...
There's no subtitles.
No subtitles.
So literally, you're watching a period drama, but you don't understand the language. So half the time I was just like, what's going on here as I pitched it out, but there's no subtitles. I can't read subtext saying, okay, Osasu's coming out because of this reason. Her husband to be is coming out for this reason. And everybody else knows the reason, but because they're so invested on this very day, and they're so happy and immersive, there isn't like ability yet at the time to explain to you like, hey, this is what's going on. Because we're all in the wedding party, so we're all just trying to be present and there for them. So
what I say, can I ask, for Mike, because he is Ishan, a lot of these cultural practices were new for him and were different. And so he had to adapt and adjust to a lot of it at the last minute, I would assume.
Yeah, usually the traditional bridal rites is going to be in that of the bride. So, for example, if I was Yoruba, we would marry traditionally in the Yoruba way. So whatever the tradition, the tribe is, or the cultural ethnic background of the wife is, that's the traditional rites that are performed.
And so my assumption is the bride is the prize, according to Bible, for the groom, and hence why the wedding traditions are done within the rite of the bride.
Yes.
Correct? Wow, this is rich. This is rich content for you all. Listen, I hope all of you literally one of these days get to experience Benin, Edo, Yoruba, Igbo, Ishan. What are the other tribes?
All of the, honestly, any Nigerian wedding is going to be a lit situation. So definitely go to a Nigerian wedding.
But so all of this happened in the morning, afternoon. After all of this happened at the house, did it happen longer than it was supposed to happen?
It did.
Because we were there for quite some time.
Yeah.
It happened and it was cool, right? Like they fed us at the house. Great. That was great. But then we get to the
hall.
The hall.
Wait. Can I add something?
Go ahead.
Before. We were all regal. The way we were all dressed.
Oh yes, you guys were looking.
We had worn for the men. We had a agbada.
Yeah. Oh, I love it. Hold on, no. But the guys had two outfits. Is that typical?
Yeah.
So the house ceremony, the guys would wear white.
The groomsmen, yes.
Typically, and then they would wear the agbada for the celebration.
Yes.
Is that typical for also other tribes?
I think so. Yeah.
Because we were and I love that we changed actually.
Yeah.
Because it was hot. And that agbada, like these outfits are heavy garments. And I was
it was very hot.
I was hot. I was burning up. I went and I showered when I got back to the hotel. And I put on my agbada. I tell you, that thing was beautiful.
It looked good. You guys have good color. Yeah. Look good. You guys
that was a good color, Osasu.
Yes, that was amazing.
Yes.
Complimented everybody's skin tone.
And so we show up to the hall. And let me tell you, Nigerian weddings are just different. Because I have not seen American wedding. Kenji's wedding, Meji, was one of the only weddings I've seen. Like, they have, like, the pictures of the bride and all of these things. Typically, I haven't seen that in America. But they have Osasu and Mike pictures outside. And you could be, like, you're mingling outside of the pictures. And then we show up to the hall. But inside, the hall is nicely decorated. And the party's going on inside. Oh my God, that was a ball of fun.
Beautiful.
That was a world of fun. What are your reaction from the actual celebration? The hall.
Oh my God, the music.
Woo! Say a little bit more.
Oh my God. Of course, Nigerian music. Oh, there was a drum beat.
The drummer.
Yeah, the drummer.
So good.
That was fun.
Yeah, the talking drums.
The talking drum. It was like...
And let's talk about it.
Hate you.
The drums had me in a fucking chokehold, okay? There was one moment where I realized that I was just recording the drums. And it's like, I don't care what he's talking about with the drum. I just need to be close to it, okay? It was insane. So if you've never experienced that, get ready to experience.
Yes, get ready.
Because it was this energy. Like, I mean, I remember he was playing with the music, and he was also partying with the bridal party and everyone. Like, I remember there's this one part. There's a video I have on my TikTok, Instagram, and he's going, and like the music is going, and you're just feeling the music.
Yes.
I'm
not sure if you guys were able to see the acrobatic. That's part of the Ishan culture. They're very acrobatic. I'm not sure if you guys saw like the flips and the dance.
No.
This happened at
the start of the hall.
Oh, we were
but we got to see it because the guys are doing it.
So we're gonna get to the white wedding because I knew some things happened.
Oh no, that was still
the after party.
Right.
At the after party at the white wedding, like there was some like ninja type stuff who were serving. Is that
we'll get to that.
We'll get to that.
Yeah.
Okay. But your reaction?
So I wanted to say that whoever the wedding planner was, she did come bring your vision alive, because I know you were talking about it, and I remember Seth was like, I want flowers, I want this hanging from the ceiling, and I walked in, I'm like, oh, her vision came to life.
She did a fantastic
and I really,
I thought I was in a botanical garden when I came in.
Yeah, so like with the theme she had, I think she really did an amazing job. I was not expecting to see that from walking in. It was just like, okay, now, like I really see, like y'all go in. Yes. She did an amazing job for the traditional. It felt lively. It was beautiful. Like the colors, the people, and seeing 2 stories. I'm like, we're in America. We're gonna invite all these people to come eat. Like, it was great to see like all these people were anticipating to see you walk in with Mike. It was beautiful. It was beautiful. It's something that you can't really explain. You had to live it. You had to be like.
You literally have to. I'm going to say it again. I'm going to echo it throughout this podcast. Honestly, you need to, if you have Nigerian friends, they invite you to a Nigerian wedding.
Go.
You gotta go.
Just go.
You gotta go.
Just say yes.
Just say
Figure
yes.
it out later.
It's a cultural experience that I think most people should, and if you have the opportunity to experience it, like do it, because it will change your life, right?
Yes, it will.
It's rich. I mean, the party at the traditional wedding, I think was my favorite.
Yes.
Oh my God. I mean, I don't know.
Hands down.
The DJ was just a point.
Yes.
Osasu, tell us a little bit about the spraying. Why do Nigerians spray?
Oh, again, like we love to send like good tidings and prosperity for the celebrant. So they spray to kind of compensate for like the money that's spent at the cost of the money. But again, it's supposed to like show like good tidings and like prosperity and blessings to the celebrant.
I love it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We'll take that in America.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Definitely.
Take note. Maybe these are some components that you could add to your celebration spraying. And as Osasu explained, the reason for it, it's not a strip club. It did not originate in the strip club.
No.
Right.
It's not that.
Because I think in America, in America, and probably people in the UK,
Western
when they
mentality.
think about it, they think strip club.
Right.
No, we are fully clothed here.
Yeah.
Fully clothed.
100%.
It is just to send blessings, to send prosperity. That's what it's for. So now, okay, we are still in Benin, and as I said, there are 2 weddings. There are 2 celebrations. That's the traditional wedding. That there's this whole traditional component in the beginning, and then there's a celebration at the end. But then there is still another whole day of another regular wedding. And so now let's get to the white wedding.
Oh no.
Thank you for joining us on this incredible journey through Nigeria and Benin City. From the bustling streets of Lagos to the cultural richness of Benin's traditional wedding and white wedding ceremonies, we've experienced the beauty and diversity of this country. In our next episode, we'll dive even deeper into the white wedding and our time in Benin City, Nigeria. We'll share more stories, insights, and reflections from our unforgettable adventure. We can't wait to continue this journey with you in part 3. Until then, stay curious, keep exploring, and embrace the world around you. This is your host, Asher Cunningham, signing off. And I just want to remind you to follow us on Instagram at Young Black Travelers Blog. We are also on Threads, so follow us at Young Black Travelers Blog. And remember, we're on TikTok where you can see amazing videos at Young Black Travelers. We're also on Facebook at Young Black Travelers. So until part 3, take care of yourself and see you on the next episode.